Do one push-up right now. Seriously, drop down to the floor and give me one single rep. I'll wait. Done? Good. If you are like most people, that push-up relied heavily on momentum, and your baseline technique was likely flawed. This X-ray graphic illustrates the hidden anatomical damage caused by high-volume, poor-form repetitions. The elbow and shoulder joints are absorbing forces they weren't meant to handle. It is an inefficient use of your energy. You end up applying maximum physical effort for minimal actual chest muscle engagement. We are going to reconstruct the movement using a strict 5-step mechanical checklist designed to place maximum tension on the target muscles while shielding your joints. Clear some space on the floor. Prioritizing mechanical perfection over arbitrary repetition counts is the requirement for triggering actual muscle adaptation. Let's begin. Step 1 addresses the most common failure point before the movement even starts: spinal alignment. Notice in this illustration how the sagging lower back creates a hammock shape. You lose tension when your spine drops. You fix this by forcefully squeezing your glutes and bracing your abdominal wall. Look at the steel beam superimposed over this corrected posture. Your entire body needs to mimic that rigidity to properly support your weight through the full range of motion. Step 2 is arm placement. You likely learned to flare your arms out wide at a 90-degree angle, a technique frequently taught in standard physical education classes. This overhead diagram highlights why that wide stance is a problem. That red T-shape grinds the shoulder tendons under your total weight. To correct this, tuck your elbows inward to a 45-degree angle. You want your body to form an arrow shape, not a T. Establishing rigid core tension and locking in that 45-degree arm angle transfers the physical load away from your joints and into the primary muscle groups. For step 3, we shift to the descent. We have to address the misconception that rapid, bouncing movements are a sign of strength. Utilizing downward momentum to drop to the floor removes the load from the chest muscles, making the repetition less effective. To increase time under tension, you need to follow a strictly controlled 3-second downward phase for every rep. Step 4 focuses on the bottom of the movement. This is the point where connective tissue damage typically begins. This schematic reveals the problem. If your shoulders collapse forward and shrug upward toward your ears, it creates mechanical impingement in the rotator cuff. Actively pull your shoulder blades down and back toward your spine. This keeps your chest open and stable, removing the impingement. Eliminating momentum and securing the shoulder blades at the lowest point creates a stable physical anchor. This allows you to safely maximize the stretch on the chest fibers. Step 5 focuses on the upward phase. The most common error here is failing to complete the full range of motion at the top of the repetition. Many people keep their upper back perfectly flat and rigid when they return to the starting position. Stopping at that flat back position leaves the final portion of the chest contraction incomplete. Look at this cross-section. When you reach the apex, you must push completely through the floor to force the shoulder blades physically apart. Spreading the shoulder blades this way allows for maximum total chest contraction. Integrating this final scapular push ensures the chest is the primary driver of the movement, rather than the triceps alone. Return to your starting position on the floor. Let's attempt the reconstructed movement in real time. Review the 5-point mechanical checklist. Hands outside shoulders, elbows 45 degrees, brace core, slow down, and spread at the top. Execute exactly one perfect repetition utilizing all 5 steps simultaneously. If that single repetition feels significantly more difficult than your usual sets, it's an indicator you've successfully removed momentum and forced your muscles to handle the entire load. Prioritizing raw muscular tension makes high repetition counts unnecessary for effective training. Share your feedback in the comments. Our next tutorial will cover another foundational exercise that is frequently performed with poor mechanics. Mastering these core mechanics, specifically core rigidity and scapular control, establishes the technical habits required for more complex